like a siren, I couldn't fight. This time, I was trapped and waiting to die. All my life, I've been addicted to the wrong side. Every road I took, I despise.
Hi, Total Recapped here. Today we will be going through the events of the 1997 sci-fi movie Men in Black, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. Warning, this video contains spoilers, so watch at your own risk. Now let's get right into the movie. The movie starts as a police patrol is lining up some people from a van attempting to cross the US-Mexico border. Agent D and Agent K approach the scene in a vehicle. Agent K walks one of the individuals to the bushes. He slashes his chest open and reveals Mikey, an extraterrestrial being. He then reminds him that he has broken several rules despite being a political refugee. As the trio are conversing, Mikey notices a police officer watching them and runs to attack him. Agent D fails to kill Mikey on time while Agent K shoots him to burst into a jelly-like substance. All the policemen get curious and gather around Agent K. A military van appears and Agent K orders them to clean all the jelly. Agent K then takes out a neuralyzer and shoots it. A red light flashes off and the policeman forgets what happened in the area. Agent D tells K he is done, for his spirit wants to work, but the body does not allow it. While Agent D says that he will miss the chase, Agent K flashes the neuralyzer and removes Agent D's memory. The scene sweeps to a bridge where a criminal is running and the police are chasing him. James, one of the officers, follows the criminal. After a good run, he catches the criminal and pushes him into a wall. A weapon falls down the criminal and catches fire on the ground. Sensing the opportunity, the criminal skillfully gets out of James's trap and runs across the road. James gets amazed to find the criminal flying above and climbing through the building wall. He quickly runs to the top of the building from the inside. While the criminal opens the door to the building at the top, James points his gun at him. The criminal says that the human world will finish and jumps through the ledge down to the building to blow into millions of pieces. A UFO flies across the sky and hits a car outside a residence in the countryside as it lands. Edgar, the car's owner, rushes outside with his gun. He discovers his vehicle has sunk into a large hole. When he arrives at the spot, an unusual creature emerges from the pit with exceptional looks and enters the house, where he requests sugar and water with his wife. The wife faints at the sight of her husband. Finally, he goes out and pulls his UFO out. Elsewhere, the NYPD authority interrogates James about the criminal. James says about the unnatural activities of the criminal, but no one believes him. However, Laurel, a medical examiner, says that she believes in James and calls to meet her. Agent K comes in and asks James if the criminal said anything. James shares about the end of the world statement. K then asks James if he recognizes the gun and tells him to go on a ride with him. In the car, Agent K tells James that they license, monitor, and police the aliens on the Earth. Agent K brings James to a pawn shop. James gets in and asks the owner about the guns. K also enters after a while and asks the owner to show him the imports. The owner identifies K and claims that he is no longer in that business. Agent K then shoots at the owner's head. James gets surprised when the owner stands up with a new head growing. Agent K further threatens him and the owner shows them various types of weapons. James identifies the weapon the criminal possessed. Agent K puts on his glasses and flashes the neuralyzer to erase James's memory of what happened as they move out. Later, the duo eat together at a table while James asks about K's identity. K hands him a card written MIB and tells him to meet tomorrow. At Edgar's place, a pest controller comes into a truck to kill the pests. However, Edgar kills him, rolls the UFO into the truck, and heads for the city. James comes to the card location and swipes the card to get in the elevator. The back door of the elevator opens where a man introduces himself as Zed. Other people are representing various departments too. Zed tells them they will choose only one of the participants there based on their qualifications. Though Zed finds authority problems in James, Agent K convinces him that James chased an extraterrestrial being on foot. Zed warns K that he better know what he is doing and takes the participants for their final test, an eye exam. While all follow Zed, K stops James and hands him a black file, explaining a government-funded project to establish a connection with the beings out from the Earth in the 1950s. In the other room, Zed asks everyone to look at the neuralyzer while he flashes the light to erase their memory. Meanwhile, James does not digest what K shared with him and prepares to leave. Hence, K enters a room and talks to some unearthly creatures while they pour coffee into his glass. James looks at them surprisingly. Kay gives James more information about the aliens and tells him as James becomes an agent he should sever every human contact, and people will not know that he exists. Kay then moves away, giving James the time to decide until sunrise. The next day, James comes to Agent Kay. They go to a transit where aliens are security checked. Kay introduces James to some of the exciting gadgets they possess. He takes James to the observation where they record and surveillance on the registered aliens of Earth. Kay explains that the aliens look like normal humans. They offer him a Men in Black suit to wear. A computer voice explains that he will appear in front of people only as deja vu. Kay then enters a new database of James and the name of Agent J. Elsewhere, Rosenberg, an older adult, closes his jewelry shop and takes his cat in a bag. Edgar follows him in his truck. Zed informs Kay and Jay that they have an unauthorized landing in the countryside and asks them to open their ears. Agent J complains about an old vehicle that they are driving, and despite of having the world's greatest technology, Kay asks Jay to fasten his seatbelt and never to press the red button. Rosenberg stops at a restaurant and meets an extra tall guy. They chat in some unidentifiable language. The tall guy calls him the Majesty and informs him that he is not safe because a bug has landed on the planet. The tall guy asks if it is a thing to a round object on the table. Edgar comes in the disguise of a waiter and brings the food to Rosenberg and the tall guy. As they see cockroaches in his hand, Rosenberg identifies Edgar as the bug and tells him that he will never find the galaxy. The bug then kills them both with its tail and leaves by taking the round object from the table. Agent K and J go to a news stall and find a magazine about stealing a man's skin, as said by the wife. They soon head to Edgar's home. Kay introduces them as agents of the FBI and get inside. She tells them that something seemed to wear Edgar's flesh like a suit. Kay flashes the neuralyzer after they wear glasses. He then tests a sample of mud from the UFO landing. He gets worried at the result and phones over to Zed to inform him about the bug landing. A policeman takes the bodies from the hotel to the mortuary with the cat on its top. Agent K and J come to her and identify that the bug killed them. J touches Rosenberg's ear for an unusual look. The face opens like a door and a tiny alien is seated inside. The alien tells them that they should prevent war. It reveals that the galaxy is on Orion's belt and then dies. Agent K identifies the alien to be a member of the royal family, the Arquillian. Meanwhile, Edgar, the bug, tries to break the circular object inside the van but gets annoyed at finding diamonds in it. The agent duo get back to their department where Zed shows them Orion's belt in the sky and tells them that there is no galaxy in the belt. Zed also demonstrates the unusual activity of aliens. They suspect that the aliens know something the department is unaware of. They then see an Arquillian battle cruiser heading to Earth through satellite footage. Zed comments that they have known about the death of their prince. He also orders the surveillance to translate the voice heard. Finally, he asks the agents to check Rosenberg's jewelry store. Edgar comes to Rosenberg's shop and searches for the galaxy. His eyes stop when he notices the cat's neck in the photo hung on the wall. Edgar comes out and discovers his truck being towed. As J and K come to the shop and find it penetrated, they hear a gunshot where Edgar shoots at the tow guy and goes away in the vehicle. As Edgar flees away, they find his ship in the truck. K contacts Zed and asks for a containment crew. Zed informs them that they have so far translated the message that tells them about delivering the galaxy. Edgar then walks to a stallman and asks him where they keep the dead people. The man says it may be the city morgue. Edgar heads towards it. Kay then expresses that they will need the help of some professional who knows about intergalactic politics. Next, Kay stops at an auto shop and talks to a dog about the Arquillians and bugs. The dog says that Rosenberg was not an Arquillian but the guardian of the galaxy and came to Earth for safety. He adds that if the bugs get into the galaxy, Arquillian will be put to extinction. The dog also clues that the galaxy is on Earth. Jay sees the dog barking at a cat and remembers Rosenberg's cat at the mortuary. At the same time, Laurel plays with the cat, having the belt written as Orion. She sees the locket hanging on the belt and her eyes glaze with the galactic view. Elsewhere, Edgar enters the mortuary with his gun and rings the bell. A man comes to the reception and Edgar tells him about a dead man being his friend and that the cat belonged to him. The receptionist notices cockroaches coming out of Edgar's sleeves and tries to spray insecticide to it while Edgar growls at him. Meanwhile, Jay and Kay arrive outside the mortuary. Jay asks Kay to wait outside since they are just going to bring the cat. As Jay rings the bell, Edgar drags Laurel and asks about the cat. After no answer, Jay enters the room and talks to Laurel about it. Laurel answers that she does not know about the cat. Edgar is below the bed holding her leg. Laurel points downwards and tells Jay that he needs to see this. However, Jay gets in another sense and shows a shy face. Kay lights up a match to have a cigarette, but a liquid drops from the ceiling. As Kay looks up, he finds the receptionist tied with some sticky substance to it. He then takes out his gun. As Laurel signals that there is something below the bed, the cat comes to the bed. Edgar catches the cat and pulls the Galaxy out of its neck belt. He takes Laurel and jumps from a window to the street. Edgar then hijacks a car and threatens Laurel to take him to the place by showing it in a newspaper. They go to their office and tell Zed that the bug has the Galaxy. Soon they hear a message on the observation about an attack from the Aquilian ship. Zed means that they will have a galactic week to respond to it. Jay asks how long it is and gets disgusted to find out it is just to be an hour long. The voice message gets interpreted in the observation and flashes as "hand over the Galaxy or the Earth will be destroyed." As for the whole department starts tracking every interstellar, Jay looks over the image of observation towers and asks them if the saucers there still worked. A frightened Laurel takes Edgar to the observation towers, who drags her towards the saucers. As Jay and Kay drive through the street to get to the area, Kay asks Jay to push the red button. The car soon turns into an advanced vehicle and starts running through the ceilings of the tunnel at rocket speed. Edgar carries her and climbs to the top of the tower, but Laurel to a treetop as he approaches the top. He then gets inside the flying saucer. Jay and Kay arrive at the location of the towers while the saucers start to fly up. Jay and Kay lock the UFO and shoot at it to bring it down. As it opens, Edgar comes out and tells him that he's already won. Edgar tears the body skin and soon converts himself into a giant cockroach. It grabs the guns through the tongue and swallows it. Kay asks Jay to engage the bug and not to let it fly into another planet. He then gets in front of the bug and annoys it to eat him up. The bug swallows him whole. As the bug walks away, Jay hits him with whatever he gets. The bug kicks Jay and throws him away while it crawls up to the building. Jay finds some cockroaches in his hand. He hits a bin and finds mini cockroaches coming out. Jay steps on one of them and kills it. The bug senses it. While Jay starts stepping on each of them, the bug gets annoyed and comes down the building. While Jay engages him with his words, Kay blasts its stomach and comes out, making it into two pieces. Jay then picks the Galaxy from the ground while Kay informs Zed to tell the Aquilians they have the Galaxy. As they talk, the bug comes and tries to eat them up. The duo gets surprised to find Laurel hitting the cockroach and shredding it to pieces. Kay takes out the neuralyzer while Jay begs him not to flash it to Laurel for she helped them. Kay says that it is for him. Jay exclaims in surprise while Kay tells him that he is not training a partner, but a replacement. He hands the neuralyzer to Jay and illustrates its functioning. Kay asks Jay to do it for he was in a cockroach gullet some moment ago. Jay wears his glasses and flashes the neuralyzer to Kay. As the film ends, Jay looks over the news magazines and smiles as the headline states about the testing of an anti-gravity car in the tunnel and a man awakening from a 35-year-long coma, which showed Kay's photo. Jay takes some food along with the magazines and moves to the car where Laurel is waiting for him in the dress of Men in Black. At last, the scene zooms out from Earth to the galactic view inside a marble, where an alien is playing with the marbles and collecting them in a pouch. And that was my recap of the movie. Hope you enjoyed it. Now comment on what your favorite part was, and make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.